This meeting is being recorded.
Sabine,
Hey, Matt.
happy Tuesday.
Hey, yes,
It's Tech Savvy Tuesday.
it is.
Long time no speak.
I know. Time, hey, flies. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
It has been. It has been super crazy.
That's good. All good.
All right. Well, what's going on in your neck of the woods? I don't think I've had a chance to listen to your last audio message you sent me. So why don't you just catch me up and we'll work through
Yeah,
some
no
things here
worries.
today.
It always develops. So I think whatever was relevant last week isn't relevant anymore now because I figured it
Yeah.
out or I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
So have to kind of catch up. I have successfully launched my second school group.
There we go.
Filled it up with all my digital programs within 1 week with the help of my VA, done a
Let's
complete
go.
rebrand. And I wanted to show you as well, because now it's live and I've already got 25 members in or something like that. So
Let's go. Yeah, absolutely. Let's showcase it. Do you want to share your screen or do you want me to go find it?
yeah, you're not in it, so
Yeah.
I was going to invite you, obviously. Yeah, of all this, it's called the Queens, but maybe some kings coming in as well. It's
No,
okay.
that's okay. I totally, I'm okay with not being in that group. Awesome. Yeah. Well, why don't you,
Yeah, I'll
why
share
don't you
now.
bring it up?
Yeah. So that's the one. So um, a bit of
Love
new
it.
branding here,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably have to work on this now. That's the next step is the VSL and the
Mm-hmm.
about page that I already had that in mind to just relook at that. And yeah, if you want to give me feedback and we can have a look at that today.
Yeah.
Right now, and the pricing we can talk about as well. I've been kind of thinking about what's the best of
Totally.
way of doing this. But yeah, let me show you the classroom. Um, the first 6 are already open to,
Okay.
no, actually, no, the first 4 are open to level 1s.
Mm-hmm.
And then toolkits are going to be open for level 2 speakers, level 3, level 4 mindset. And then the rest is where it says book now. That's all my paid programs that they can actually buy as a one-time fee. So obviously you can't see that right now unless you came in as a
Yeah.
member, and then you would see it locked basically. But that's maybe the replays can come up here. There from the settings. And I guess the great thing is all my old digital programs, I could host them now in here. I put all the videos and the workbooks and the write-ups all in one big bulk. So all of these have quite a lot of modules
Mm-hmm.
written underneath
Oh my
here.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all stuff I had stored and kept in places, and I had to just bring it all out. It's almost like a bit clear out in your attic, and you bring all the stuff to the forefront that you think is still
Mm-hmm.
valuable. So it's quite a few things here. So I'm happy. I think I got like a focus point, and the group is a bit of everything. It's not just learning digitally, but it's also about networking, collaborating. So I've created a space here where people
Mm-hmm.
can connect on threads or share podcasts and books and inspiration and wins and
Love that.
collaboration opportunities as well. And then on the calendar side, I have currently got, say, something in once a week because that keeps me accountable. It's like a forcing function. I need to show
Mm-hmm.
up. I need to provide some
Yep.
coaching, and it just keeps me going and keeps me sharp, right? So monthly, I've got a networking event. I've got a get started events in there as well. So I would people orientation, they can jump on a Zoom, and then twice a month co-working or some sort of new workshop, which I can then put into replays. And then once a month, I'll bring in an expert speaker of some
Yeah.
other topic which I can't talk about. So that's the idea.
Yeah, I think one, just initially I did the search on, the exact name. Obviously yours popped up number one on the search. But if I just type in business queen, let's see if you come up, see where you come up. So business queen out of 1,000 results. Let's see. Because I'm trying to also think like how would somebody search for you? You actually show up on the 1, 2, 3, fourth row, third column on the second page for business queen.
Under.
For business queen, if I search just business queen,
Mhm,
so you're on the second page, fourth row down, which is pretty good. So you're
mhm,
above the fold on my screen. Um, and then if we just do evergreen business, because those are going to be kind of like how I would search things, right?
mhm.
You're actually number 2 on that search.
Yeah,
So
the other one's the almost evergreen, which is
yeah,
my mentor, my other mentor.
yeah.
Yeah, we got that spot at the moment. Yeah, you're
So
right.
yeah, that's good. And of course, your rank, overall rank will change based on the engagement within.
Hmm.
So even it's not just about large size, it's about engagement. So you can have a small amount of members still rank and move your way up into the school ranking system for discoverability. That's where creating the kind of content that gets people in the community to get engaged, share their story, their wins, ask for questions, help, that kind of stuff. That'll help move it up in the overall category.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. As it grows, and for this, for me, I think I'm happy with running the community. I've learned a lot from the Empower Me Hub, and I'm using all the SOPs now
Mm-hmm.
for the member management, the onboarding, and the also the speaker management. I can use all
Mm-hmm.
of that. I've been focusing on figuring out the pricing and the growth now as well. So I've used Facebook ads. Um, I've now got some insights around how do you really create good Facebook ads, and lots of creative and from different angles and things like that. And I think it just constantly coming up with new ideas around this, and new angles and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy with that. That's just now going to be like a constant once a week. I'm going to sit down and do more ads and test them and switch the things off that are not working. I might even test, because I read in a school game someone drove 94K worth of traffic to their um, blog page directly. I don't know if you saw that
I didn't.
post. It was
Wow.
quite cool. Actually, it was really good. And
Yeah.
I was wondering, was it in a school game? It must be in a school games. It was then um, somewhere on pinned for a while. I think he was called Joshua or something like this. Joshua, maybe 95K behind it. Yeah, the insights from
Yeah.
spending 95K in school to ads to school. Um, but I'm not familiar with obviously how much it would cost. Maybe how much does it cost to convert a lead? Um,
Yeah.
from how many clicks do you need to get to convert into a trial? And then Alex Moses says it's about 50% from a trial to paid member, which is quite high if you have a decent school community.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not sure about the whole costing things, and that's why I'm now thinking, well, maybe $5 is never gonna yield a return on investment.
Well, in the
Um,
beginning, it won't yield because it's all
mhm,
about your churn rate for like a monthly subscription like this. So
yeah.
whether it's to a membership site or a SaaS product, right? Like Go High Level and all these other ones out there, ClickFunnels, where it's like anywhere
Mhm.
from 100 to $200 a month.
Yeah.
Like most of the times they're negative on ad spend until they hit a specific time with that client.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so that's really kind of where you have to determine, well, what's your churn rate? So the average churn rate for membership sites is about, I want to say, anywhere from 4 to 6 months. That's the average.
Yeah. I think if you calculate with like 10%, so after 10 months, you would have lost everybody
Yeah. And
from
again,
the
that
original view.
and that's, and again, right, that's the old metrics when we consider like how Facebook groups were being run, because
Mm,
school groups operate completely different now.
mm,
That brings a whole nother element of, well, maybe the churn rate can be a lot longer because of how these schools are actually building and living and breathing, not just based off of the host, but also the people inside,
yeah,
right? Because of the gamification aspect of it. So as
yeah.
long as you're including and encouraging gamification of like, hey, like I see some of you are still in level 2, you guys are missing out on amazing things in level 3 and level 4. Like, let's help each other get to level 3 and 4. First thing to do is drop your thoughts down below on this topic. And if anybody resonates with it, we should all go like each of the comments below this post, right? So as a host leader, that's how you can lead from the front to try to get more people engaged and say, hey, look, I'll take the initiative here. Here's a controversial topic, or here's a topic for this week. I'd love to know each and everyone's thoughts in here and as a comment down below. You're muted, by the way, unless you're supposed
Yeah,
to be.
sorry, my husband keeps on
Okay.
asking to set up a printer. I said I can't do it now. It's just that your timing is all wrong.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. No worries. But then from there, as they comment, you can one say, look, you'll get a like from me no matter what. So obviously, the part of school, being in school, is to build up points. And if you're trying to get to level 5 or level 4, the next level, just a good practice is to always leave a GIF or a comment of your thoughts on my posts at least. And I will always make sure to like your post, which means you'll get at least 1 point from me no matter what. And then you encourage other folks to say, but I want everybody else in here to read the thoughts and the insights from other people, and if you agree with them, like their comment, because that's how they get points, right? But that's how you can lead from the front to do your best to get them to engage.
Yeah.
That's where school's different in terms of keeping them long term, because now if they feel like it's an actual community, not just being sold to and just talked to all the time, like, okay, here's another freebie and here's another motivational quote and here's another this. Like, no, I'm actively once a week going to come out here and I'm going to, and actively get you guys to have a thought or an insight that I want to learn from you all on a post. And if you are trying to unlock these cool modules here in levels 3, 4, and 5, you'll at least get points from me if you comment on any of my posts or make a post, because I want to make sure you guys are being heard and seen. You ladies are being heard and seen. So in terms of churn, that may be different. If I look at my school where I'm at, we've had it up for a little bit now. Let me go to it real quick. Let's see if I can look at the numbers. The Be Bold community. See if I can look at my numbers. All right. General metrics. So it doesn't give me the metrics because I'm not under the admin account. But if I look at my members and if I look at my churn, the last person that churned was on February 5th. And then I had 2 people churn in January. And then I had one person leave in December, 1 person in November, 3 people in November. So like, it's like I have a size of 100. Most of them are free, but some are paying. And most of these are the paid accounts at the $5. Like I'm losing I'm losing 1 to 2 on average per month.
And so this is where I was thinking about annual membership and then giving them a discount as well. But I was unsure how to display the option, whether there is a way in the settings, because it only tells me current price and annual price, and you can only show one. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's see.
That could be another idea.
Yeah.
And do you know, so you don't know how school is actually managing the people who are churning?
Other than when you go under members, there's a tab up there that says churned.
Yeah.
You'd have to, there's no metric on it on my
Because
side.
what would be great is to actually like, okay, churn, but they cancel and then I think
So like,
they're gonna be removed from the group
yeah,
automatically.
they
Must be
automatically,
something there.
they automatically get removed from the group.
Okay, because I have someone in there that their credit card was declined. So I messaged them as a DM and say your card's been declined. Would you
Hmm.
be so happy just update your card and I hope you're enjoying the group kind of thing. But she's not responded back. So then
Yeah.
school says she's churning in 10 days. So she has extra 10 days access.
Yeah. So school will automatically, that's it. That's an automatic system in place.
Hmm.
So they'll try to charge the card. It looks like they're giving them 10 days leeway, but you still have the ability to just say, nope, kick them out of the group. You don't have to wait the full
Yeah.
10 days. You can, but again, right? Evergreen automated. It's a low entry point. Let school deal with it. Like
This is what I was thinking. Will school send some more messages and say, hey, like your
probably.
card's been declined and blah blah blah. So I don't know what.
Yeah, I'd have to test that. I don't know if it does, but my assumption would be is I'm sure they're wanting to keep like notifications in front of them. But this is where we have to take a step back and ask ourselves, is it worth any of our time for a $5 membership, right?
Yeah, yeah, of course. No, I mean, I want to upgrade the membership and I want to enhance
Yeah,
it and then go up to $50, $100 a month and so on. Obviously,
correct.
only the
So as
time.
the higher you get, then the more processes and checkpoints you'll probably need to have in place to retain them, right? To keep churn
Hmm.
down. Because you're right, a 47, a $97, 100, $97. Those are significant price points now for a monthly membership. So, the SOP would be, okay, every Monday I'm going to go into my members, I'm going to go under canceling, I'm going to see who's canceling, right? So I have this guy Samir,
Hmm.
he joined August last year on $5 a month. This is the guy who's canceling this month in 2 days. I need to send him a message, let him know like, hey, how, one, check in with him. Like, don't make it seem like he's canceling. Be like, hey, Samir, haven't spoken in a while. Just want to check in, see how things are doing. Right. And then from there, if he stays, he stays. If he doesn't, he churns out. Right. I only have
Hmm.
$5, but if it's a $50 or $100, then I would have been checking this more frequently. And then I would be checking in like, when is the last time I sent him a message? Open up chat. And so I sent him a message on August 27th to welcome him into school. He said, will do, thank you. And that was all of our conversation was. But again,
Yeah.
mine's only a $5 membership. So you either want to be here or you don't want to be here. You either enjoy the content we post or jump on the live calls like today or the live call with Javier on Thursday. Like we're super hands off in terms of like people will come in if they want to be here, but if they don't, then we're not
Yeah.
going to track it down. But if it's $100, then yes, you probably need to have, here's the SOP. Mondays, VA, check if someone's canceling. Okay, here's a list of people canceling, screenshot that, share it with me. And then number two, send a check-in message. Here's a couple prompts that you can use to create a check-in message for the client. Boom, send it to ChatGPT. Great. Send that message over to them real quickly. Great. If they don't respond in a couple days, send the next message. It's just like a DM follow-up, right?
Yeah, true. I have that member SOP in place.
Uh-huh.
We've got a spreadsheet. We add everybody who comes in, and then we have a welcome
Yeah.
sequence, and then after 30 days. And I guess it just needs to be after 7 days because of the 7-day trial thing. 6 days, maybe we should do something as well. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely right. And so all of this can be solved with some sort of system and process based on the level of pay, right? So again, right, if you have the front end systems working well, you have to just determine kind of your churn rate. And so right now, my average in the community, if I did some math based on when people joined and when they're leaving, they're
Hmm.
staying anywhere about 6 to 7 months.
Yep.
Some are leaving in the first month, which is fine. We know that. But so if they're staying 6 to 7 months, let's just say 6 months times 5, right? That's $30, right? So we make $30 off of them. So now when we talk about ad costs, right? But how much can I spend for this client to make it worth my while?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got $30 on average. So $30 is break even. So if I'm paying $30 to get them to sign up, well, I'm getting the group to grow. I get social proof. I'm breaking even, which is fine for the moment. Are there anything on the back end that I can sell where I can make up for some of these costs, this cost that we have incurred? Where it would get bad if you're running ads is if you're not breaking even
No.
on that $30 cost, right?
And this is exactly what I was trying to do here on this calculation, to take all this into account. But I don't know what the conversions are, the clicks, and anything like this.
Yeah.
Just popped in, say it was 3% conversion, then that would be 30 trials, 50% will go and become members. That's 15 members a month. And
Mm-hmm.
then I calculated a 10% churn, and here I can play around with the monthly price.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't know, maybe I have to test it, how much will it cost me to get 1,000 clicks. But now,
Well, yeah.
when
Yeah.
I'm at, right now, as I'm running the other ads, it looked like I'm almost paying like $1 for a click, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking I can't. I'll be probably down $500 at this price point, if that is the truth, unless I can get my ad to perform better.
Yeah. Or you get better churn, right? So churn should be more around like
Yeah.
5-6%.
Of course, we can play with that. I just said
Yeah.
worst case scenario, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to, yeah, worst case scenario would be 10% or higher. And again, right, like that's at what is the cost? What's the monthly cost again? $5 on this one, or
Let's say, so this one was 33 on the hub.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so
if it cost me $1,000, $1 a click, so I would have spent 9,000, and with the churn, I would have made, I still would have doubled, 21,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah. So it could add up. See?
it can add up very quickly, especially when you compound the memberships adding on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is where this again, right? This is where monthly recurring memberships, longevity mean a lot. Like, yeah, that first month, you might be like, ugh. But then that second month, you're like, okay. The third month, right? You're just
cruising.
adding the same amount of 15 over time.
Mm-hmm.
And if the churn rate is 10% or 5% even, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, let's make sure that, yeah, those are updated. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was at 5%. Now let's go with worst case scenario with
and that's
20.
not, yeah, and that's just for the month, that's not added combined, right?
This one is combined now. Month, 1 till whatever. 7, 8.
Okay. So yeah, so you would still, yeah, so but what I'm saying is like month 1 you made 445, month 2 you made 891.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've made, triple your money back. Not triple, but double.
So thank you.
Even with
Yeah,
the
so you'd
10%.
be 43. Is that correct? About 43,659 it shows me here.
Yeah. If you had the autofill, yeah. Down at the bottom. I know Excel does that. Yeah, you're looking at 43,000.
Mm-hmm. And so if it costs me $1 a click,
12 months in a row.
mm-hmm.
You spent 12 grand this year, but you made 43 minus 12, you made 31. 31 and some change.
Yep. Come on. Like,
I know. It's like, come on. Yeah.
yeah, it's not bad.
So your
Decent.
ROAS is 2.8
Mm-hmm.
ish. That's a killer ROAS. So now it's just making sure, obviously, getting
Is
the
that correct?
clicks.
No,
Three,
you do this.
I think
This
it's this divided by
into
12. Yeah.
2.6.
2.6. Yeah, I was close. So 2.6, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
If I gave you $1 and you gave me $2.60 back with my dollar,
This. Yeah.
So now that we've
Okay.
run through the numbers a little bit, now it's a little bit more clear. You're like, oh wow, okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
how, even at a $33 monthly price point, right?
Yeah.
So change the
Mm-hmm.
price point. This is where we have fun, right? It's your calculator. Change it to $4, $5, $6,
Mm-hmm.
$100, right? Just for put 5 in there. I want to see what it says for 5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
See,
that's.
this is where, like, okay, we can't do 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We
10
have
will
to
be
do at
great.
least 10 is break. Minimum is 10 break even. So you might be able to spin this in a way where you're like, break even. Okay, for a limited time only, I'm having a blitz sign up for my newly launched. So now this is like a newly launched marketing campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I want everybody in the world to know about it. I'm sharing it to everybody for the next 15 days. This is going to be the last time this group will ever be at $10 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And that $10 will be your monthly price. You'll be locked in for life. You'll get to access all these great things. Boom. Now we come out with the storytelling, the VSL, right? Blah, 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 blah. Share it with your friends. I'm not restricting anybody to get in here. The only, thing is, please invite folks, women that are looking to build evergreen powerhouse businesses. So obviously you're speaking to women, of course, right? So not everybody, but,
Mm-hmm.
you get a bunch of folks in, $10. You're basically breaking even, which is okay. As long as you break even, great. Get group size, you get monthly membership size going. Plus, you have back end sales on the back end of it too, right?
Yeah.
So,
This was the next conversation I was going to have because I'm creating evergreen type workshops, sell my high ticket offers. And again, I'm running ads to those. I ran one yesterday and I had a couple of women joining. Obviously, there's room for optimization now, as I see.
yeah,
Firstly, they're well run over 1 hour. So after 1 hour, a few dropped before
yeah,
even seeing my offer.
yeah,
Clever. And then the other one, she basically came off afterwards of I'm muted because we're on Zoom and ask questions. I wanted to run it as an evergreen webinar. Obviously, we don't want to have questions and conversations afterwards. So another learning, don't do that. So I had to cut the video and I'll do it again. But basically, I think I sold myself short because this was a couple of $1,000 kind of 90-day thing, 9 steps, the whole thing, right?
yeah,
And it's worth, a few thousand. And she said to me that she doesn't have the money for it. She told me on the Zoom right away. So yeah, I guess I could have objection handled, but at the end of the day, I really don't want to convince anyone. So I just told her, well, maybe you want to get started, come into the Sales Queens community and just get started there, and I'll help you get your first couple of clients, and you can always reinvest.
Yeah.
And then we can work a bit more together. And then she asked, well, how much is the membership? I said, $5. She was laughing. She laughed at me. She's like,
No brainer.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
I should have said it for her because I'm thinking she would have easily paid $100 a month.
Yeah.
Because I already created so much high value, and then selling her into such a low sort of thing. I was like, no, don't do this ever again, because I should have had something medium. Said, hey, let's hop on a call, do a 2-hour session with you for $500 if you
Yeah.
can't afford the few thousand for the 90 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
you want to,
really, I
yeah,
kind of,
that's all right. You're giving yourself some self-critique here. So in the future, you're, you know, when you're in that situation, when you're thrust into a situation where the objection is, okay, this is too much money, right? Okay, great. You have two options: handle the objection and still try to get her, you know, get the client in, or just go straight into the downsell into something else. And then of course, make your way and make your advice saying,
lower
okay,
drops.
totally got it. You know, this is, you know, quite a few $1,000s, and timing, you know, isn't right. Perfect. I don't like to push anybody, but I do think, and you would probably agree, you still need help with this, correct? Yes. Okay. So I have another option that may be the best fit for you based on your financial needs right now. And it's going to be my XYZ Accelerator Hub, or it's going to be a 2-hour session with me, or just a deep dive audit session with me. Don't say 2 hours. Just say a deep dive audit session with me. And if it runs for an hour, great. If it runs for 4 hours, great. But then you could say that typically I charge $497. And what we can do on that call is spend 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours breaking down and giving you an ideal map custom tailored to you that you can go and take action from by yourself and get it done. And then when the timing is right, we can revisit getting actual continued life support from me.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, after that call, I have this amazing community group where I go live once a week. It's a one-to-many session, so it's not one-on-one, but sometimes it can be if there's not a lot of people on the call. It's $10 a month. It's $33 a month, where you get access to all my trainings, all my replays, all my resources, and you get access to me once a week because I go live once a week on Thursdays.
Yeah, that would have been.
So we start off with the, but start off with the, this is what you need. You need a deep dive call with me.
Yeah,
And
true. And she would have taken it, because afterwards she said, "Oh yeah, I just doing some more qualification." So she's in some sort of professional training. She must be paying a lot of money there as well. So it's not about,
probably.
I don't know. Well, maybe she doesn't have finance because she's paying there. But yeah, that would be the better thing, and having a less of a drop. And if they say, "Oh, I still can't afford this," then go to the next level, not all the way down to the $10 thing.
Yeah, it's you know, you understand sales, and one, we don't want to assume anything. We just want to ask. And then we ask from a place of you know, like, hey, I really want to serve and help you, and like we need to lay all the cards on the table. If I'm going to help you, I kind of need to know, like, is this really money situation, or is this like maybe trust? Maybe you don't trust my process, or maybe you don't trust me, right? So like is it truly just the money? Like if you had the money, if money wasn't a thing, you'd love to get started working with me on this 90-day program. Totally awesome. Okay. So now, like, that's you making sure there's no other doubts in their mind. And from there, say, okay, well, what can you do? Like what amount, like what do you have, what kind of funds do you have access to that you could invest towards this program? Now you're giving them to say their price. They may say like, oh, like I got $800.
Yeah.
And then you figure out a way to match whatever you can in your services and your offering for $800.
Yeah.
That could be a series of 1 or 2 one-on-one calls over the next 60 days where you just check in once every 30 days. The first call would be the audit call, where you go through and we map out the entire plan and you hand it to them to go and execute, and you check in every 30 days to see how it's going on a call. And then maybe you give them access to the membership site for free.
Yeah.
Or you give them a discounted as a bonus, something like that, or even just a discounted. Normally this is $33, but because you're launching this hybrid program with me, I'm going to get you in at $15 a month. And what do you get from it? You get all the training modules, everything I've ever created, everything you need at your fingertips, everything we'll talk about. Plus, I do a one-to-many call every week. So yes, we'll have our dedicated calls, just me and you, but you can always hop in once a week and get guidance and advice from me.
Love that.
So
Yeah.
that's in sales, like that's the proper structure of trying to overcome the money objection, because sometimes it's just the money. And you can either be a killer like my little brother. He doesn't take no for an answer, and he will just stay on the phone until you hang up on him to get money out of you.
Really?
But it comes from a place of like, because the product he sells is an AI trading bot. I think we talked about this. A lot of the people have money. It's sitting in a 401k or it's in a retirement. They want to diversify, but inflation, all this other stuff. And he's like, what are you talking to me for? Like, are we going to do this or not? Like, I believe in my product. You see what we have. We've shown you everything there is. Like, what's stopping you from pulling the trigger? Well, I just don't know if it'll work for me. I was like, yeah. And if you don't make a decision today, you'll never know if it works for you. Like, he'll hit him with that. Like, that's his objection. That's how he'll say, like, yeah. And guess what? If you don't partner with us today, which is fine, I've got other calls today. He's not, they're getting a lot of flow. So they're not desperate for sales. So he uses that to his advantage. And he goes, look, I got 6 other calls today with other folks that are looking to invest with us. So like, I did it. We went through everything outside of the way that the bot works. And it's just, is it just the money, or is it just, you don't know if it's going to work or not? Great. We have some trusted clients that we work with. Here's their number. Give them a call. Ask for yourself. Like, it's a different way that he approaches it, but he's very direct, and he's like, look, like, if you're trying to change and you're trying to diversify, or you're trying to improve your life and you have access to this funding, like, how else are you going to, you're going to pick something, right? You're going to either go do crypto, you may go real estate, you may go Roth IRA, 401k. Why not foreign exchange with us? And you don't even have to lift a finger, because it's all an AI trading bot. The bot does all the work.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pick something. Why not pick us?
Does he do cold calling, or is he just phoning up people who booked?
So their ads, the way that they're running them, everyone's just going through a qualification process, and they just jump on his calendar.
Okay.
So he just got a list of like 7 or 8 calls a day, just people trying to that qualify, of course, get past the logic form. And yeah, he did like 19,000 in commissions last month, which I was really proud of him.
Awesome. Because I have a VA who also does telephone setting, but just booking appointments, not closing.
Yeah.
So and this is through an agency that's been told to me it's going to be so amazing, and 10 calls in my diary every week to do audit calls or sales calls, but that's not happening. And I'm thinking, how come that agency has sold it to me? Now I'm piecemealing my own strategy together rather than him giving it to me. So I'm like, I can see how it worked when people registered for my masterclass and they're given the phone number as part of the registration. Follow up and say, hey, here's the replay in case you didn't make it. And we also offer a free audit call. So that's follow up. I can see that. But from the cold, I'm feeling not very warm fuzzy about the fact that we'll pick up the phone and phone people from LinkedIn at the moment.
Yeah. So yeah, it would just come down to kind of what they consider cold outreaches. Like, are they sending cold messages, or are they doing cold phone calls? Right.
Yeah. Everything cold. Everything really cold.
Which is fine, right? But if their result claim is we're going to get you at least 10 booked calls per month, right? Don't care where they get it from, as long as it gets booked. I mean, you do care, but if that was the promise and that's the service you paid for, then this is part of keep an eye of all the metrics. What's the activity look like? Checking in with them daily. If they've given you a VA, if they've assigned you a VA, then it's your responsibility and your duty to your business to check in with that VA daily and say, hey, how many folks did you call yesterday?
Yeah, that's why I do. Yeah, that's why I do. How many messages? Give me the dashboard. Here are the new scripts. Try this one. Then we'll look at feedback. Someone got really annoyed and said, I used to like Sabine, but now I don't like her anymore because she was spamming me with cold messages. Okay, it's the one out of many.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you'll get that. Yeah, you'll get that. One out of many. That's part of what we're in. You can still always turn those around, of course, right? And a lot of that is the cold message itself, right? Like we have to look deep into the reactivation campaigns, right? Cold messages, I get them all the time and I delete them because I'm a marketer. I know this. So we have to put ourselves in their shoes. Us marketers, us business owners, we've destroyed DMing and cold messages.
Yeah.
The second I get a friend request, if I haven't met them, I already know what they're going to just try to say, hey, how was your day going today?
Yeah.
Hey, we are in the same inner circles. I thought you
Mhm.
were interesting, so wanted to see how you are. Like,
Yeah.
so that there in turn makes it harder to scale these things, which means we have to have qualified people going in and saying, hey, if you're going to send a cold message to someone, here's the actual process that's going to get their attention. One, you have to go look at their profile, see what they're all about. We have ChatGPT though now.
Mm.
So copy their page, their entire profile page, plug it into ChatGPT, and then prompt it and say, based on this prospect's information, use Sabine's products and services to tell me why, or to give me a solid opening liner
Mm.
to this person on LinkedIn. Like, actually, I want to do that right now. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I want to do
Spend a
that right
bit
now.
more time, do
Let's do it.
less.
Well, yeah, it's in that realm. In that realm,
Mhm.
when you're doing cold, it can't be. It can be scalable to a degree, but let's do this right now. So let me see if I can
Mhm.
find the right screen.
Good idea. Yeah,
Um,
because I already have a bot that will help me with LinkedIn comments. So I've already showed her how to use
mhm.
that and just comment on people's profiles and like them. And we do batches of 10, 20, 30 that we
Yeah,
warm up before we ever call them. That's why I said to her, or before we ever send a DM, we need to be on their profiles for a couple of days.
yeah. So obviously I got all these messages. I don't even check any of this stuff because I'm never on LinkedIn, by the way,
Mhm.
right? But let's just say I'm trying to find someone to go on podcast for us because we're getting people booked on podcasts now. So I want to search. Actually, let me just let's see. Yeah, how do I search? Let's do entrepreneurs, just because entrepreneurs love podcasts. All right. So business owner, tech startup, founder, Mike Moore. Just gonna go to his profile, right? I'm just trying to
Mhm.
see what I'm passionate about. I'm literally just gonna go Control A. I'm gonna copy everything. This is how I use ChatGPT. It's so bad. Take this prospect's LinkedIn profile information, and actually, I probably could just grab the link because it searches the web now.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do that instead. Um, to analyze, uh, give me a great, give me a an opening one-liner one-liner that I can send as a message uh, to to connect. All right, and then I'm gonna say use my product information, and then I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go to your pod. I'm gonna go to your. Okay, his is probably the best one to go to. Let me go to my Be Bold community. So I'm gonna go to Be Bold community. I'm gonna hit the About page. I'm gonna copy just my description that I have for now, and I'm just gonna add it in here. Okay, let's see what it pops out. See if it'll look at it at all. This will be interesting. All right, so it says, hi, Mike. I noticed your impressive background in business development and thought you might benefit from our school where entrepreneurs like you scale. Okay, no, that's lame. That's lame. Don't pitch my services. I'm trying to be friends with Mike. Be more witty. Here's a more casual approach. Mike, I was going to come up with something super clever to stand out, but let's be real, LinkedIn messages all start out sounding the same. So let's skip the fluff. How's business treating you? I'm not saying that's perfect, but I mean, do you get that message?
Authentic. Oh, yeah. No, you don't get it. No, it's really good.
I did 2 prompts in under less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right now, yes. Did that take longer than just the standard? Like, could I just now have this and just send it to a bunch of different people and change the front name? Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
But like now, once that's done, if they don't respond, okay, create a series of witty follow-ups if the prospect does not respond. I need at least 4. So now she's going to create me a witty follow-up response to that, right? 2-3 days later, right? All right, Mike, I see you're playing hard to get. No worries. I respect the art of good ghosting. If you ever decide to come back to the land of LinkedIn message, I'll be right here. 5-7 days later, still no response. I'm starting to think my message got lost in LinkedIn void. Either that or you're secretly testing my persistence. If it's the latter, well played, sir. This one's funny. At this point, I'm debating sending a carrier pigeon instead. But let's be real, they'd probably get ignored too. Hope all's well. Like, so obviously use ChatGPT, but the initial message, if we take a couple extra seconds to just look at what is being said or like what is on their page, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, where's my
True.
Got all my stuff all over the place. Can't find my Zoom. My Zoom room. Gotta love it. All right, Zoom room. There it is, hiding. Oh, I've got so many screens. But that there, right? So obviously when you're working with these outsourced VAs, they're supposed to bring some of this to the table already. That's the whole point. When you hire an agency, I would, just stay on top of their butt. And if it's a done for you service, then done for you services, the quality of service and the deliverables matter.
Yeah.
Like ours is a done for you podcasting booking service. If you sign up for 20 podcasts, we got to get you on 20 podcasts. And ideally within a certain time frame, sometimes longer, sometimes less. But if we're not sending you if we make a claim and say we're going to get you booked on on average one podcast per week, which means we'll bring you a new podcast to book. It may be booked later, but at least once per week. And if we're not bringing that once per week, then we have to say why and be upfront. But ultimately, like today or yesterday, we didn't present a podcast to a lady last week. Yesterday, I presented her 3 podcasts.
Yeah.
Some weeks you get 3, but on average, right? So if at the end of your time working here, on average, if we have averaged out at least 1 per week, then we are still within what we claimed we're meant to be. So you just got to stay on top of that agency, be a sore thumb to them. And then ultimately, again, this is from, a higher perspective of working at a couple different, 7-figure companies now. You as a customer want to build a track record against the company if you ever decide to go for a claim, like a refund claim or a chargeback claim. Because if the service didn't do what they said they were supposed to do, and there's no clarity and there's no confidence and there's no results, like ultimately you're like, just do what I paid you to do. You're not doing that. So I want my money back, right?
I was already about to do that in month 3 with them because I've not seen any results. Yeah. And they said you have signed a 6-month contract and you can't back out of it because it takes 6 months to get some results.
Yeah, that's total load of crap. It doesn't take 6 months to do anything. They're just, it's an unfortunate relationship you started with them. There's just a lot more clarity that they didn't provide, and you're 3-4 months in. But from someone that's seen chargebacks come through and we have to handle them just like a case file, we have to go through, screenshot the day that they joined, all the verbiage from the contract. We have to see the communications from the team, because we'll have people ghost. When I worked at Elite CEOs, we'd had people ghost us for 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks, but we sent a message 2-3 times a week. We sent text messages. Hey, where are you at? Are you okay? Is everything all right? We're trying to move this process along. You're not, you know. So we show a track record of us trying to fulfill our services.
Mm.
So when a
But they
chargeback
still
comes
got a charge back, or no, you had to do
yeah,
it.
no, yeah, we win the chargeback because we complete a case file. We put all the information in there, their ID, their credit card information, their agreement statement, their contract that they signed, all the school material or classroom material they've watched. We could go through and go high level. We have Elite 360. You can see like percentage completed.
We could go
Conversation.
against you. Could go against you if you haven't completed it. So either way, you're not winning.
Well,
If you
don't.
consumed all of it, you could say, "Oh, you've consumed all
Well,
of the material."
yeah, so part of again, right, it's yes and no because them just consuming knowledge from the course isn't just a clear directive of like why they wouldn't give them their money back because they're not paying for the course material, it's just an add-on. They're paying for the services of like the coaching, online support, the one-on-one support. We're trying to deliver that to you week in, week out. You haven't responded to us. Now you're charging us back.
No, you haven't turned up to the calls and
You
stuff
haven't
like
turned
that.
up to any of the calls. We've tried to get on calls with you to realign and try to make things are moving forward. You've ignored us for 3-4 weeks. So when we send this to we'll send that message based on, hey, we just received a chargeback ABCXYZ. Here's what we'd like to do to rectify this, and go through this. Here's what we have. And then here's a link to jump on a call with us. And then if they don't book, put that in our package as well too. And then we send that off to the bank, and then the bank determines, and we were at like I think a 99% acceptance, like in terms of like the chargeback didn't
Because
go through.
you had some good I mean they have good processes. They got good.
We document it, right? So you have to so from your end as a client, right?
Yeah.
If you are in a bad deal because the company is doing bad, right? Like if you feel you've done your part of your end of the bargain, if they're done for you, there's not much you're supposed to be doing.
It's not a done. I don't think it's a done for you actually. They give you a VA. They said they trained the VA.
Yeah.
And they give it to you, and they give you all the processes and the strategies, and they also have a Trello board for the VA to actually follow the steps.
Yeah.
But the steps that they've given and the scripts they've given didn't yield any results. So I had to go back and apply my own knowledge and the marketing because the scripts that being given were the ones that ChatGPT would spit out just willy-nilly on, and nobody would open.
So this is where for you building your case on a chargeback because you spent money and there's no results, and they're going to say, oh, well, we'll just keep working. We'll just keep trying. Well, how long are you going to keep trying for? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, all the while my money's gone. Right. So my advice would be document everything, screenshot everything, build your case around the services that they claim to give me. One, the results haven't come through, but here's a deeper meaning and reason why. All the scripts and the training they put these VAs under don't match current trends and current level of skill needed to fulfill on this. Part of why I outsourced this is because it was time consuming for me. I know how this goes. And the first couple weeks in, I've realized that they're using ChatGPT scripts, no personalization, nothing confirmed or proven. And to this day, I still have 0 results from this team.
Yeah, true.
And I've also given them proper scripts. And then, but you'll need a screenshot, documentations. That's why making sure that they're reporting their weekly reports, their daily reports, or not even weekly, daily reports. I sent 100 messages today. Great. What column is that in? Got it. How many responses came back? Great. Column. How many people did you present the booking link to? Right. And then they say, oh, nobody. I didn't get any conversations pushed forward to present a booking link today. Okay. All right. Let's review some, it's partially like, obviously you have to take some responsibility, but you're doing that already. It seems like they don't care.
No.
So build the case around the beginning, timeline it out, snag it, point to arrows, write down notes underneath. Like, at some point I realized that a lot of the scripts they were using were very just prompted ChatGPT scripts that anybody could find. And I've developed my own scripts, which I then even included for the team to use. Here are their numbers. They're not reporting numbers. I've asked for numbers. They're not giving me the numbers.
No, they are giving me the numbers, but they're not looking good. And I also had to build out my pipeline in high level myself. They would have given me a template with a pipeline.
So yeah, so there's a lot of things that you're like, based on the price that I paid, based on the service that they said they were going to provide, these are some of the discrepancies, which could be feedback, but also like I'm out XYZ dollars and I have nothing to show for it, literally. And so yeah, I just don't feel like this is my case. Send it into the credit card. You don't have to send it to them. Just send it to the bank or the credit card.
Yeah.
And you send your case
I'll
file
do
to
it
the bank.
after. Exactly. I'll do it after 6 months, because I got another 6 weeks, because I had to continue after 3 months. They would have taken me to court, they said. Because after 3 months, I already said this is not working. But they gave me a new VA, a more upskilled one.
Yeah.
That can also do telephone setting. I said, okay, well, that sounds like something we should give it a go. But it's just continuing the same way. So I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
So that's just an empty threat. They won't take you to court, because it's not a take you to court situation. You just turn your case file over to the bank and you just do a chargeback.
That's probably what I'll do.
And then the bank will let them know, put a hold on funds. Like, you don't get your money back, but it'll be there. Then they have their chance to now put their chargeback file in case together. And then from their perspective, now they have to say like, no, we've delivered on our services.
Yeah.
And then then the banks will have to decide, well, who's telling the right story, whose case file was better put together.
Mm-hmm.
And they may not even have a case file. They just say like, no, we did what we were supposed to do. But at least you have your case. This is gold for all consumers, right? Like, this is inside stuff here. Like a big business that's trying to prevent chargebacks, like we build a case. Like, I'm working with Devin now, the new role that I'm in, and a lot of the stuff that I'm doing inside his business early on is I'm implementing like, no, we check in once or twice a week. We send the message regardless to the client. It doesn't matter. Like, we always send messages. Like, every week we need to have at least one message in the base camp. And I know our service is done for you, so we have to present podcasts. Even if they deny the podcast, we need to present the podcast, because then it's showing us we're presenting podcasts to them. We have one lady that was like, we were getting on some really good podcasts with like 30, 40, 50,000 monthly listeners. And she denied like all of them because of her time zone.
Okay.
Oh, that's at midnight, and oh, that's at 5 a.m. And I'm like, okay, well, you're in Bali. Most of these are in the United States. Like, we discussed this when you came on, that there may not be some favorable times for you to go on these virtual podcasts, but here they are. So we have a list of like 6 or 7 not accepted podcasts that we presented to her. So in the event, if we don't fulfill her normal amount, because we're not taking those, but we're bringing her other ones, it's going to come to a point where like, okay, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. If you don't accept them, that's not on us. But if she decides to charge back us, we have a case file.
Yeah. True.
We've got all the pods we can screen. We've got all the communications of her denying it, and her reason why is because it's at midnight. Well, we fulfilled our end. We're bringing you top podcasts.
Agreed. Fabulous. Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
at
Sabine.
the hour. I'm not going to take more time, but this has really helped. Please do send me the replay. I'm always love the scripts, taking them all out. And
I'm actually recording this on Fathom. So what I'll do is right away, I'll send you the share link for Fathom. And then I'll get it uploaded to school as soon as I can. But I'll definitely send you the share link for Fathom.
Brilliant. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Matt.
Take care, Sabine.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Care. Bye.